Empowerment is fully allowing your connection to source energy. There is only a stream of well-being, and you are allowing it or you're not. You are allowing the stream or you are resisting the stream. But the stream flows whether you allow it or not. Good is flowing to you whether you let it in or not. Well-being wants you whether you know that it does or not. Your legacy is one of well-being. And so when you are feeling good, you are allowing the well-being. When you are not feeling good, you are not. And it does not matter what justified excuse you use for not allowing it. You could be looking at some fact that has been documented 1,000-fold, and you could say, the reason I feel this way is valid, and we would say it doesn't matter if it's valid or not. Feeling that way is pinching you off from well-being. You've got to choose something else. You've got to focus somewhere else. But so often people say, I can't focus somewhere else. And then your bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Abraham friend says, you are the creator of your own reality, you know. You should be blissful like me, and you want to just strangle them because there's nothing worse than not feeling good and being around someone who feels good, who thinks that they can just give you a lollipop and you will feel better. And what we're wanting you to understand is that law of attraction will help you, but law of attraction will not let you jump from a frequency of strong disconnection to a frequency of full connection instantaneously. You can't make that jump any more than you can set your radio dial on 101 FM and hear what's being broadcast on 98.6. You cannot be a different vibrational frequency and have access to those other thoughts. But you can reach for thoughts that are close to where you are and focus upon the thought that is close to where you are until the thought that is close to where you have been becomes more dominant in your vibration, and then you move slightly into a new vibrational place. And when you do that, you feel subtle relief. So, we really want you to hear that the way to clean up your vibration and the way to purify your point of attraction and the way to be a vibrational match to who you really are and what you want, the way to that is through the feeling of relief. Now, Joseph Campbell said it as well as we have ever heard it said. We love hearing you repeat it all over the place. Follow your bliss. There were no better, truer, more accurate words ever spoken about getting in touch with your guidance system and following your way to all the well-being that you want and deserve. But following your bliss isn't possible from depression. You can't even get a whiff of bliss from depression. Following your bliss is a wonderful thing if you are in a vibration of appreciation. So sometimes the perfect path to bliss is a sort of angry tantrum. We're not kidding you. From depression, when you get angry, you feel relief. In depression, you feel powerless. You don't want to get out of bed. You can hardly breathe. The walls are closing in on you. Everything is dark. But if you can find some bugger to be angry at, you can reach a vibration of anger from a vibration of depression, can't you? And wouldn't you rather be angry than depressed? Most of you vacillate from overwhelmment and frustration to ecstasy. In other words, most of you are in those ranges. And you dip only on rare occasion into depression. Down here at the depths of depression is that feeling of powerless and depression. But when you reach for a thought that makes you just angry, your cork moves up just a little bit. So you can go from that depression to anger. It's possible to make that jump. No matter how bad you feel, and let's say, for sake of this example, you feel really, really bad. Let's say it's the depths of despair. If you say, I'm going to reach for a thought that I have access to, and that's the key word, a thought that I have access to that gives me some relief, and you find an angry thought, and you feel relief, only this time you say, I consciously chose this angry thought, and I deliberately feel better. Can you feel how you have regained power? Can you feel how disempowerment is now softened significantly? And isn't it logical that if I can get that far into anger, that now I can reach for thoughts that are even less angry? And that if I can find thoughts that are even less angry, that then I can find some thoughts that are more like frustration, and then thoughts that are more like overwhelmment? And if I can get to overwhelmment, then shouldn't I be able to get to pessimism? And from pessimism, shouldn't there be hope somewhere on the horizon? And from hope, shouldn't I be able to reach maybe into optimism? And from optimism, shouldn't I find a little pigtail or piece of belief? And from believing, shouldn't I be able to get to knowing? And from knowing, shouldn't I be able to find that feeling of empowerment and joy and knowledge? In other words, if you say, no matter where I am, I'm going to try to find relief. And in finding relief, I'm going to release resistance. And in releasing resistance, I'm going to move into a better feeling place. And then if I keep doing that, isn't it logical to you that from wherever you are, no matter where you are, that you can get to wherever you want to be? But what has happened to so many is that from the depths of despair, they've tried to make the jump, the quantum leap jump to bliss. And then when they don't make the jump, they end up back in despair. All of you, unconsciously and in a self-surviving instinct, know that you're supposed to feel good. And when you don't, you just go berserk. That little boy, when his mother said to him, "You are bad," a self-survival anger came forth within him because her version was so out of whack with what every fiber of his being knows. Now, don't misunderstand. We don't want to coach you into anger and then just leave you there. But we see so many who go naturally to anger, and then their family and friends and counselors are alarmed that they have chosen anger. But we would coach them into anger, and we would coach them into recognizing that they've done it on purpose, and then we would coach them into the next best feeling too. And so sometimes what you've seen in yourself and others is you go from depression to anger, to depression, to anger, depression, and anger, to depression, to anger, because you feel it's inappropriate that you should be angry. And then you start feeling unworthy again. You start feeling guilty. And we have to say to you that guilt and fear and all of those disempowering feelings are all taking you the wrong way on this emotional scale. So what do you want to talk about?
I have been exposed to your material now for about 6 months. And a good friend of mine who's been exposed to your material now for about 7 years has told me to go and pursue this because he feels that I have a good vibration for it.
What do you think?
I believe so 100%. And for the last 6 months, I've been practicing in my workshop, visualizing, being clear on my wanting, and allowing it to come in. And I see magical things and miracle things happening in the process in the last 6 months. So I know I must be doing something right to attract it. Last month in February, I think I had the most miracle in my life for a long, long time. Pretty much all my whole human being. I would probably say I attracted at least 80% of everything I wanted. I guess my question to you is, how do I get my vibration to be more pure and pure so I can attract 100% of the thing that I put out?
Well, we think the timing of your question fits right in here.
Yes, it is.
Because what you just heard us say, and we're going to put this to you in a very blunt way, you're not ever going to hit 100%. Because as you want this and you specify it, and then you find alignment with it, and Source begins to deliver it, you step into a new place where just as you're about to fulfill it, new horizons open for you. And then as you find alignment with those new horizons, and you step into that new place, just as you are about to fulfill it, new horizons open for you. And the good news is that's why you are an eternal being. In other words, if we could ever become complete, then there would be no reason to come forth into this leading edge environment. We aren't creators to get the creation done. We are creators because creating is what we do. That would be like being a painter and saying, I'm going to paint the perfect picture, and when I do, I'll bury my brushes in the backyard. I'm going to paint the ultimate picture, and then I'll be done. And as an artist, you know that you never get the final painting done because a new idea is always born, because it is the process of the painting or the process of creating that is what life is, you see. We are not encouraging you to strive for the perfect feeling. What we're encouraging you to strive for is the best I can feel right now from where I stand. And what you begin to discover is that your ability to feel better keeps expanding. There are those already in this room who can often feel appreciation that turns you inside out. You feel ecstasy on a rather regular basis. Even for you, there is more.
Abraham, why is it so hard to accept what is?
What do you mean?
You know, when you talk about and we experience in human being is we, you know, financially are broke or physically sick, and it's hard to accept what is before you can actually create. Why is it so hard for
you see, we want to twist this a little bit and tease you with it a little bit, because what really is that you are worthy, powerful beings. That's what really is. Mm-hmm. But you've been distracted by what is. Mm-hmm. So as you look at what is in the physical setting, you offer most of a vibration about what is. So what really is has a hard time getting in because you're so aware of what is. Yeah. You see. Now, you're hearing this a little bit, wanting you to acknowledge where you are. But we never want you to acknowledge where you are without an eye toward where you're wanting to go. It's just that we want you to understand that the goal is feeling better. Yes. It isn't what you thought it was. It isn't the money. It isn't the girl. It isn't the empire. It isn't the job. It isn't the new house. It isn't what you think it is. It's the emotional way you believe you will feel in the accomplishment of that. And when you set your sights upon feeling good and you discover that you can feel good by remembering something, or you can feel good by imagining something, or you can feel good by looking at something more specifically. You can feel good when you decide that you're going to feel good. It takes a determination. When you say, it is my dominant intent to feel good, nothing is more important than that I feel good. Today, no matter where I'm going, no matter what I'm doing, no matter who I'm doing it with, it is my dominant intent to look for things that feel good when I find them. When that's the mantra that you're offering,
you attract everything.
People will look at you and say, who anointed you king of the world?
Wow.
Why is it that everywhere you go, doors open for you? They say, the women flock to you, the money flows to you, the vitality oozes from you, the charisma is you. They say everything you touch turns to gold, and you say, oh, I thought it was that way for everyone. It just feels so natural to me. It feels natural to me. And then you can say, as the teacher that you are, it didn't always feel natural to me. But I practiced until it felt natural to me. And now I practice the wouldn't it be nice if game. You never hear me negatively contemplating into the future. You never hear me demanding that someone listen to what is. In other words, you never hear me justifying why I'm not someplace that I want to be by beating the drum of what reasons I believe I got there. In other words, I'm always looking for things that make me feel better. And in my selfish orientation, I hold myself in alignment with the well-being that abounds. And it just swarms into my experience at every opportunity. So everywhere I go, people are nice to me. Things just turn up right for me. It's like every place I step, the rock appears so that I can step on it. I rarely have a moment of insecurity. Well-being oozes through me.
It sounds so simple for us just to focus on feeling good then, all day.
Well, it's a lot simpler when you feel pretty good to focus on feeling good than when you feel rotten to focus on feeling good. Yeah. And that's the thing that we're wanting you to hear here today.
That's great.
Don't try to take a bigger jump than you can vibrationally take, and then you won't get discouraged. Yeah. And no matter how small the improvement is, count it. Ring bells about it. Mm-hmm. I'm mad as hell. I'm so angry I'm spitting nails, and boy, does it feel good. Boy, does it feel good, because now I'm breathing again. And your friends say, oh, but you're so awful to be with. And you say, good. Like I care. Like I care how I feel to you. You should feel what it feels like in here where I am. Big improvement from where I am. I don't give a rip what you think about where I am. I have improved, and I did it on purpose. And I'm going to beat this drum of anger until I'm sure I'm stable here. In other words, I'm not going to take a chance on slipping back into despondency or into powerlessness. I'm going to be mad as long as I need to be mad, and then I'll try to get frustrated. Hang around, my frustration might be fun. But meanwhile, don't ask me to be some way you need me to be, because I can't do that no matter how much I want to. I feel better in my anger. Now you're back in power. And of course, this is a powerful exaggeration for you because you're usually up here in the higher registries, but you are a teacher of those who aren't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.